Oklahoma Sports Network.
Any other use of this telecast, or any pictures, descriptions, or accounts of the game without the Oklahoma Sports Network's consent is prohibited. It may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be used without express written consent.
The I-44 Speedway. So checker flag flies for your first hot lap qualification session for your A-class. Jet Nunley out of Marlow, Oklahoma. He's in the 33 car. He'll be one to watch last night. Jet had a scary moment down the back straightaway. A motor going grenade and up in flames. Cash Lacombe, among others, Luke Anderson, Braxton Weeger, Mason Doherty, Titan Roberts, Cameron Shamness, Cole Roberts, and Chance Olstrom. So Marlow, Oklahoma's Jet Nunley was quickest in that first A-class session. These guys accumulating points per their qualification laps to go in addition with their heat race points. And the top 12 point getters in each division will lock themselves into tonight's A main events. The 14F of Bobby Wolford Jr. on the Speedway, along with your 2024 defending Tulsa Shootout Restrictor champion out of the state of Nebraska. That's Hayden Hansen in the 319. Zayden Vasquez, he's in the 11 car. The 21E of Enzo Spicola. The 52S of Mason Spahn. Brexton Bush out of Mooresville, North Carolina in the 18B. The 90 of Deegan Lells. Those your cars for Hot Lap qualification session number 2 for your A-Class. 35 cars checking in tonight for your A-Class division. Titan Roberts, your winner last night. We'll see how he fares tonight. So the green flag flies. All competitors will get 1 lap for a warm-up under green, and then I do believe this time by we will kick off their first logged timed laps. Jaden Friesen, the first to log a lap. To you. Zayden Vasquez, quick time with an 11.528. Brexton Bush, second quick with an 11.676. And 11.735 for Avery Morgan, third quick. Jaden Friesen, Deegan Lells round out your top 5. Then Hayden Hansen, Enzo Spicola, Bobby Wolford Jr., and Mason Spahn taking care of group number 2 for your A-Class Hot Lap qualification session. Up next will be session number 3. The 2Z of Zach Zeller on the Speedway, along with the 75 of Braden Lewis. Chase Spicola in the 12Cs out of Pueblo, Colorado. The 9J of Jake Jones. The 06 MP of Merrick Pipe. It's Mac Daddy Chase McDougal in the Factor 1 Racing 73. The 17S of David Spencer, Cale McGee in the 46C, and the 2M of Colton McGimpsey. Keep in mind, these competitors accumulating points. The quickest qualification time in each group is awarded optimum amount of points to go along with their passing points accumulated a little bit later on in their heat race. So, qualifying hot lap points and passing points in your heat race are of a virtue. The top 12 in accumulated points in each class will lock themselves into their respective A main events. So glad to have you folks along tonight here at the I-44 Riverside Speedway Park. And we welcome each and every one of you out in TV land watching On Start 2 Finish Productions. Our good friend Haas with the production. And our good friend Jimmy Miller back in the state of Indiana, or Illinois, twisting the knobs and buttons as well. Also, like to welcome the fine folks of the Oklahoma Sports Network along with us here tonight at the I-44 Riverside Speedway Park. So we've got trouble over there in turn number 2, qualifying session number 3 for your A class. The 2Z of Zach Zeller getting turned around, and then nowhere to go. I believe that's the 9 of Jake Jones. Nope, it was Zach Zeller and Braden Lewis with nowhere to go that got into him. So, tough break. Appears as though no damage. No, it actually was Jake Jones that got into. Jake Jones in the 9 car getting together with the 2Z of Zach Zeller. So we'll give these guys one more green flag lap. Right now, Merrick Pipe sitting atop the speed charts. So momentarily we'll check in with Neil Martin down there in the infield. Merrick Pipe, Chase McDougal, and David Spencer quick in that session. Neil, you're down there trackside. The racetrack looks real good tonight.
It's looking good down here, Scotty. I'm really shocked at how well the dirt's going on down here, but watching these drivers work the car, they're all looking pretty relaxed right now. So I'm going to come back up there with you. It's hot down here.
Bring it on. Merrick Pipe, quick time with 11.5.99, 11.791 for Chase McDougal. David Spencer, third quick. And so your fourth group of qualifications and hot laps coming up for your A class. Caden Mitchell in the 13T. Graham, Texas. Cooper Miller in the 5C. Eli Morgan in the 15E. Chase Highland in the 5. Bennett, Nebraska's Taylin Roberts in the 18T. The 25 of Braden Brewer, the 297 of Dylan Berglund, and the 17B of Bryson Roush. Those are your cars for group qualifying number 4 for your A class. And I do believe this should be our last group for qualifying and hot lap. So group qualifying session number 4 for your A class in the books. Eli Morgan in the 15E car, quickest with an 11.429. Cooper Miller, the Coop Man, getting up on the wheel, second quick with an 11.444. Bryson Roush in the 17B, third quick with an 11.584. Caden Mitchell, Braden Brewer rounds out your top 5, along with Taylin Roberts, Dylan Berglund, and Chase Highland. So I think that takes care of group qualifying for your A class, Neil.
Yeah, this is going to be our restrictors coming out on the track now. Got the 11 out there. That little young man right there is turning into a pretty good wheel, but he's got some good help behind him. O'Shane Carson teaching that Mr. Bryce Shade how to get around.
Bryce Shade had a really good run last night at the Creek County Speedway.
13 of Jace Reaper, the 99L of Caden Lane, the 30 of Gunnar Calloway. Then you got the 90 of Maxwell Norick. The 28L of Jensen Long and the 1K of Colette Derrico. So far, Bryce Shade holding quick time at 12.466. Caden Lane jumps up into the second quick at 12.667. Gunnar Calloway followed by Maxwell Norick, Jensen Long, Colette Derrico, and Jace Reaper rounding out the 7 cars on the track.
And right on cue, you were talking up young Bryce Shade with the tutelage of the legend Shane Carson, and he up jumped the rabbit, pulls out a quick time for his group qualification with a 12.466. How about that?
Little man knows how to get it done. It doesn't matter what it's in either. He can just jump in and drive.
So Group 2 will make their way out onto the Speedway. This racetrack looks to be in outstanding condition. Neil, I want to send out a very special thank you to some wonderful folks that made it possible, along with Terry Maddox and the Now 600, for me to be down here this weekend. So shout-outs are due to the fine folks of Morton Excavating, Martin's Machine Shop, Arc Wrecking of Oklahoma, and Laramie Crane. We'll be dropping them in recognition during the lineups throughout the evening here and there. But wanted to send out a very special thank you. Them folks made it possible for me to come down here and see you, bud.
It has to be special to get you on a plane to get somewhere.
Oh, my gosh, I wish I could fly. I'm getting too old to be driving all over God's creation. Speaking of which, I'm scheduled in Burlington, Iowa tomorrow night.
And you're going to get there by driving?
Yeah, unfortunately.
You better get some flapping going on because you're going to need to get there quicker than that.
It'll take plenty of hot air.
Deacon McRoberts in the 26K out there, along with the 14 of Jude Allgaier, the 22J of Riker Jones, the 92 of Lathan Knott, the 18B of Brexton Bush, and the 19A of Ayla Moorfield, the 18T of Taylin Roberts, the 10cc of Charmaine Carey also on the track out there right now.
Boy, that Brexton Bush has been so impressive to watch the last couple of years, Neil. As he progresses, he just keeps getting better and better and better. The young man is chock full of talent. Obviously, the apple don't fall far from the tree.
No, it doesn't. He just set quick time at 12.348. Jumped over the top of the Wild Child, Ayla Moorfield in the 19A at 12.546.
Tell you, another young man that's really coming around is the...
Oh, Jude Allgaier just jumped to the top with a 12.325.
How about that? Jude the dude getting up on the wheel.
Brexton Bush was right behind him at a 12.331. But Jude Allgaier came out of nowhere. He was running around 6th and 7th on the speed chart.
Young man out of El Campo, Texas, found something on his last qualifying lap. So Jude takes the top spot there with a 12.325. A 12.331 goes to Brexton Bush. Ayla Moorfield with a 12.546. And then Deacon McRoberts, Riker Jones rounds out your top 5. So it is time for group number 3. I do believe group 3.
Yep.
For our restrictor division.
11H of Nicholas Harris, along with the 81 of Braxton Flatt, the 29 of Clayton Jenkins, the 1T of Tommy Holt, the 17B of McKinnon Rouse, the 40 of Riker Calloway, the 28 of Chase DeMarco, and you've got the 25A of Kimber Grooms.
And I'll guarantee you, Neil, one that we'll want to watch in this group will be the young man out of Monmouth, Illinois, Braxton Flatt. He is a go-getter.
Nicholas Harris jumping to the top of the chart at 12.523. Clayton Jenkins, I apologize, was the one that jumped up to the 12.523 in the 29 car. Braxton Flatt with a 12.672. Chase DeMarco with a 12.680. Mackin Rouse just jumped over that with a 12.665. Clayton Jenkins is down to a 12.453. Clayton Jenkins in the 29 with a 12.453. Quick time in this group with Braxton Flatt at a 12.564. Chase DeMarco with a 12.619. McKinnon Rouse with a 12.665. And Nicholas Harris at a 12.773, rounding out your top five.
So your next group will make their way out. I do believe we've got one more group in the Restrictor division. Was that group 3? So we got your fourth and final, I do believe, making their way out for your Restrictor division. Glad to have all of you aboard here tonight. A hot, sultry summer night here in Oklahoma City to the south side. So on the Speedway, you've got the 14V of Brett Van Zandt. Colton Andrusek in the 29A, Riley Oberst in the 22R, Caden Anderson in the 55K, he's out of Glenpool. Hudson Andrews in the 7, Owen Larson joins the field in the 83 car. Owen out of Mooresville, North Carolina. Levi Ballard out there in the Chad Boat Racing 87 as well. Your final competitor for your final flight of qualification hot laps for your restricted division. I tell you, Neil, another young man you'll want to keep your eye on in this particular group is young Owen Larson. He, much like Brexton Bush, has really come along very quickly. Right now, Owen sitting second quick with a 12.592 behind Brett Van Zandt. And as we say that, Hudson Andrews goes to the top of the charts.
Brett Van Zandt jumped him right over the top with a 12.422. Rattled as right as you said that, Scotty. Hudson Andrews looks like he's going to settle in with a 12.476. Owen Larson in third with a 12.592. And Levi Ballard, 12.654. And Caden Anderson in a 12.713. It's in your top five. Riley Oberst with a 12.753. Colton Anderson with a 12.956.
So the restricted class has wrapped up their qualification hot laps. We will move right along through the program. Oh, we've got one more. Hey, I'm just learning. I'm taking my training wheels off before the evening's over. All right? So we've got one more restricted class on the Speedway. Neil, I'm trying to catch the hang of all this, but
there's a lot going on up here in this booth real quick.
You got the GH7 of Garen Howard, Brooks Bowie in the 66, Grayson Henry in the 22.
Chase Button in that 14B with Dawson Woods, last night's winner in the 83W. Blake Crooms in the 32C and Titan Roberts in the 18.
Titan Roberts had a heck of a night last night.
He did. He had that car sitting on rails and you couldn't get away from it.
Wasn't it ironic to you that all three stock non-wing restricted and A-Class A main events, they had battles in the feature for the top spot, and they all got negated by caution flags late?
That caution flag always jumps up there and takes the fun away from us, for sure. Dawson Woods not missing a beat. He's back on top of the speed chart at a 12.489. Titan Roberts jumped up into the second spot at 12.657. Garen Howard at 12.678. Blake Cromes in the top, running out in the top four there in a 12.696. Dawson Woods drops the deal again. It's 12.430. Chase Button up to a 12.641. Titan Roberts sitting in third with a 12.648. Garen Howard, a 12.658. And Grayson Henry, a 12.696. Blake Crooms at a 12.701. And Brooks Bowie, 12.776.
So the young man out of Chickasha picked up where he left off. Last night's feature winner, Dawson Woods. Quick time in group number 5, your 5th and final for the restricted class. And if I'm not mistaken, we will move along to our stock non-wing division. Merrick Pipe making his way onto the Speedway in the 06. Colton McGimpsey in the 2M car. Isaiah Garcia, that young man's coming around as well. He's in the 17G. Pueblo, Colorado's Chase Picola, along with a 42X of Luke Anderson. Trevor Smith, Maxwell Norick in the 90 car. The 13F will be Caden Mitchell. Group 1 for your stock non-wing coming at you. I tell you what, the racetrack, Neil, looks to be in plenty hydrated condition. After all of this heat and all of this sunshine, it takes a load of water to make a presentable competitive racetrack.
If I'm not mistaken, I think they had to go put gas in the water truck to make more laps. The part I like to watch here, Scotty, is you see a lot of these drivers moving that cushion up. They want closer to that wall than what it is right now.
And we as spectators, media men, and fans in the end, we love it.
Oh, yeah.
The further that thing gets up to the wall.
This track has so much character up against the wall, but if you belch that throttle and that front end lets go and lets go of the dirt, it is up in the wall. And you're up for a wild ride. This wall is unforgiving in both ends.
Ain't no doubt about it. It'll grab you in the boo-boo before you know it.
But one thing about it, if you can run it,
you're going to be going fast.
That is one of the most beautiful things you've ever seen, and your lap times are going to show it.
So here we go. An extra little caution lap to retrieve some debris over there in turn 1. And the green flag will fly. And we'll get qualification hot lap session number 1, group 1, underway for your stock non-wing. So Group 1 for your stock non-wing in the books, Isaiah Garcia in the 17G, top of the charts with 11.969, a 12.291 for Luke Anderson, and a 12.306 for Chase Picola. Those 3 cars, your top 3 in qualifications. Caden Mitchell and Colton McGimpsey rounds out your top 5, along with Trevor Smith, Merrick Pipe, and Maxwell Norick. Group 1 in the books, Group 2 coming at you. So Lawrence Mann Jr. in the 11M leads the field out onto the Speedway. Zayden Vasquez in the 11. Blaine Button in the 75, the 55X of Connor Chamberlain. Marlow, Oklahoma's Jet Nunley in the 33. Anthony Rhea in the 71A. Dylan Berglund in the 297, the 55U of Chance Olstrom.
Mic check, 1, 2, 3. 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 Mic check. S to F video, mic check. OSN, mic check. Now I've got a voice again, Scotty.
Finally, we can hear you now, Neil.
That might not be a good thing. Zayden Vasquez not wasting any time, and that'll, Jet Nunley done went and topped him right as I was trying to say it. And Braxton Weegar went ahead and topped that one. We're into the 11-second bracket now, Scotty. 11.950 for Braxton Weegar.
Boys, flat getting around this racetrack without a wing. Those are some really good times. Calera, Oklahoma's Braxton Weegar atop the speed charts with an 11.9. He's going to take care of action for Group 2 for your stock non-wing. Marta, Oklahoma's Jet Nunley. Second quick with a 12.005, a 12.128 for Zayden Vasquez, and then Dylan Berglund, Anthony Rea rounds out your top 5. Chance Holstrom and Blaine Button, along with Lawrence Mann Jr., rounds out your field for group qualifying session number 2. Group 3 making their way out momentarily. Braxton Weegar making Mr. and Mrs. Lacey and Diana Weegar.
That 11.950 is very, very impressive around here.
No doubt.
And then Jet Nunley just out of the 11-second bracket with a 12.005, and that's without a wing.
No doubt.
That's going to make this evening a lot of fun, and this group right here is going to be real exciting. You can already tell by the first 2 out.
Yeah, I don't know from what I see names running across the list, as this thing is as stacked as Group 2, but Group 3's got a pretty good list of guys themselves. Why don't you tell us about them, Neil?
Talon McConnell going to be out there in the 17 McConnell Record Aqua-sponsored vehicle car out there. And then you got Dalton Burley in that IMCO-sponsored 55. Caleb Threshold in the 89X. Lawrence Mann in the 29M. Zach Zeller in the 2Z. Leroy Boone in the L3. And Braxton Weegar in the 1S. Nathan Manuel in the 416 joining the field in this one. Oh, Braxton Weegar must have went by the. He must have went through a second time.
Yeah, I think Braxton not in this group. He was still up there from the last session. Looks like Cooper Miller out there as well. Yeah, we got Cooper Miller. So leaning on the back end of group qualifying, number 3 for your stock non-wing division. Right now, your defending Tulsa Shootout Restrictor champion atop the speed charts, State of Nebraska's Hayden Hansen.
Went in at 11.778 with Cooper Miller right behind him at an 11.873.
You go, girl. How about that girl power?
And then you got Talon McConnell with 11.963. That is a bunch of cars getting into that 11-second bracket quickly.
No doubt about it. Dalton Burley and Lawrence Mann round out your top 5. And then Nathan Mall, Zach Zeller, Caleb Thenchite, Braxton Weegar. He wasn't on there. He's from the last loop. So those were your finishing order for group number 2, group 3. And Group 4 making their way onto the Speedway. Right now, last night's winner and your stock non-wing, Kingsburg, California's KJ Snow in the Chad Boat Racing 89 leads your field out onto the Speedway. Hake Soares follows.
Mason Daugherty in that 91K going to join him with Mason Spawn in the 52S. Izano Spicola in the 21E. Tatum McElvaney in the 11T. Tristan Olson in the 24U and Chris Miller rounding out your field in the 17M.
Got the 2F of Jaden Friesen on the Speedway as well. Racetrack showing signs of a little bit of character early on, Neil. Got a nice little divot cowboy up upon the entry of turn number 1.
Yes, it is going to make for an interesting night because you can see every one of those cars in that exact same spot on entrance into turn 1.
I'd say as the night progresses, that
could
rear its head.
Some fun into turn number 1 in that A feature.
Ain't no doubt about it.
Along the way, especially with these guys in the 11-second bracket. But that is the exit ramp, so that's where everybody drives across to get out.
No doubt.
So it could make some fun, but it is definitely going to be a little interesting to watch.
KJ Snow quickest in that group. Mason Doherty second quick. 11.953 for Snow, 12.013 for Doherty. Mason Spawn with a 12.063, and then Jaden Friesen and Hank Soares round out your top 5, along with Enzo Spicola, Tatum McElveny, Chris Miller, and Tristan Ahlstrom. So we've got 4 groups in the books for your stock non-wing. I do believe that takes care of all of the now 600 classes. We've got junior sprints and turf cars as well. Junior sprints and not cruisers.
Talking about the tuners, Scott.
Tuners, get it right.
And if you have never seen a tuner race on dirt, there's 4-cylinder front-wheel drive cars that don't like to drive on asphalt, so they're a lot more fun to watch on dirt.
I promoted a 4-cylinder cruiser tuner race in my hometown in Columbia, Missouri about 10 years ago, and they built me a track on the tractor pull arena. Old boy got out there with a box blade, and before the race was over, had to use tractor tires for the infield barrier. Before the race was over, it had about 3 or 4 defined 1-foot ruts in each end of the racetrack. And would you know, before that thing was over, we turned over about 7 or 8 of them.
Well, they're not supposed to turn over as easy, but these things will get up on their ears.
Got the juniors making their way out onto the Speedway. Junior sprinters, a nice little addition to tonight's field. Stop number 2 for the 2025 National Open Wheel 600 Series Speed Week. So glad to be here at the I-44 Riverside Speedway Park. You guys are lucky. You get 2 Speed Week stops this week for the Now 600.
And we're going to enjoy it as much as we can here, Scotty. On the track, Brantley Lewis in the 21, Brody Lewis in the 27. Little Red, Peyton Bunton in the 82, and racing Mason McBride in the 98. Brighton Bowie in the 65, and Breck Bowie in the 66. White flag's going to come out. Our little guys here. These are our youngest competitors. These are 212 Predators on steroids. For these little junior sprints, these are training cars up to get into the restrictor cars for, in a couple of years for these little guys. They will put on a show. One thing about them is they don't know what to be scared of, so they're going to run out there and race their legs off. And they make it definitely interesting for us here at I-44. Got another group fixing to come out. Next group to come out, you're going to see Paisley Slidham in the 21P, Case Martin in the 51, Audrey Larson in the 8, Levi Ballard in the 87, Ayla Snyder in the 14, Huxon Roush in the 17H, that little 21 of Paisley Slidham just a few weeks ago had a tremendous wreck in turn number 4. That car had to go back and get some major repairs done. It bent the right front clip in and destroyed the wing as it went into the wall full throttle. First question out of her mouth when Dad got down there, is my race season over? And he said, no, baby, it's not, but we got to fix this one. They finally got it all back together, and she is back out on the track in her rookie season. '87 of Levi Ballard out of Grimes, Iowa, with the 14 of Ayla Snyder from Dresden, Ohio, right behind him. Case Martin out of Angleton, Texas, 17 H out of Riverdale, California. That's Huxon Roush. Paisley Slidham out of Yukon, Oklahoma in the 21P. Sounds like we're going to make a few extra laps here in just a few minutes. Going to be bringing them around to let them iron out the top side just a little bit. Up next for hot laps is going to be our mini mod division. You're going to see them roll the top side. The 89 of Dan Enixon. Behind him, the 36K of Kyle Knight. Got the 01B. That is Bryson Hand. His first night out here in that mini mod, he flipped to the entrance gate and car was destroyed. He had to get a whole new frame for that one. Behind him, it's the Bounty Hunter. It's the 83J of Jordan Griffin. Behind him, it's his brother. It's the 44 of Brantley Griffin. The 33 of Brian Pinnock. The 88 of the Pirate, it's Stephen Beard. And rounding out the field, the 7 as Charlie Griffin. Wide tires on these cars are helping them mow out that top section. We'll iron it down just a little bit so people can start using it to run on. Once they work that top side in, you're going to see some speeds that are out of this world. Looks like track officials are happy with the roll in there, so they're going to move off the track. We're going to turn these guys loose and let them go green. Dan Enixon in the 89, Kyle Knight in the 36K, Jordan Griffin in the 83J, the 01 of Bryson Hand, 44 of Brantley Griffin, the 33 of Brian Pinnock, the 88 of Stephen Beard, and the 7 of Charlie Griffin. Top of the speed chart in our modified mini mod division, Dan Enixon in the 89 at 13.046. Kyle Knight with a 13.182. Then you got Bryson Hand in that 01B at a 13.182. Brantley Griffin with a 13.059. Brian Pinnock with a 13.215, and Stephen Beard 13.401. And Charlie Griffin, 13.560. Up next, our tuners are going to hot lap our 4-cylinder front-wheel drive cars. Bryson Brindley in the 37, the 47 of William Hunt, the 29 of Jed Raines, the 13 of Dustin Cook, the 3 of Salvador Seducha, the 51 of Dylan Wiest on the track right now. And you heard it said before, these things don't drive good on pavement. You can just imagine what they drive like on wet dirt. So, but we've had some great races in this tuner division. Definitely exciting. Bumper cars on steroids was one reference I'd heard.
And it looks like the checker flag's going to fall for your tuner class hot lap session. I think we got one more. No.
Should have one more.
Yeah, one more. Neil, you know I'm always really excited to get down here to this wonderful venue that you guys are so blessed to have. Hearing we've got no one else in staging, so that'll take care of your tuners. But always excited to be here, but when I heard the news I heard today, I was especially excited to get air. I heard through the grapevine, we got some Chinese food here at the I-45 Riverside Speedway Park. What?
We have some of the best fried rice.
Bring on the fried rice and the egg roll. Give me a little soy sauce. Come on.
That fried rice will make you go slap Grandma. She takes your fork. That is...
Smack your granny.
They've got all kinds of food down there and ready to go. I mean, they keep it. They start cooking it early afternoon, and we get it going.
So with that, we will wrap up our qualification hot lap sessions for all divisions, and we will invite all of you down there to try some of that good Chinese food. Got some American food down there as well. Don't be slighted if you don't like that. But with that, ladies and gentlemen, I do believe, are we just about ready to get things rolling?
They're giving us a thumbs up. They're ready for opening ceremonies.
Well, let's throw it right over to you, and let's get this thing going, bud.
Well, everybody, welcome tonight to I-44 Motorsports Park. Beautiful Thursday night racing action for 2 nights of the Now 600 series right here in our backyard. If I could have everybody please rise and remove cover. Bow with me, please. Dear Heavenly Father, thank you so much for allowing us the freedoms to be able to do this kind of stuff on a weeknight when we know we got to get up and go to work tomorrow morning. Please lay your hand on everybody at the racetrack, from our spectators to our pit crews, our drivers, our safety crew, our ambulance drivers, everybody out there. Please allow us to come back tomorrow night and watch another beautiful night of racing. I'd like to definitely ask you for your hand on our military and our first responders of all branches. Definitely need them in our taking care of us in our corner. In your name we pray. Amen. Now our national anthem by Miss Tiffany Lane.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Thank you so much, Miss Tiffany Lane. Now that is a special thing I get to see most all the time, Scotty, is Tiffany Lane does my national anthem, and her son is out there driving the 99L in the restrictor class, Caden Lane.
Well, let's hope Caden does every bit as good a job as she did. Great job. Thank you very much, Mrs. Lane. Okay, Oklahoma City, you guys ready to go racing at the I-44 Riverside Speedway Park? Stop number 2 for the 2025 National Open Wheels 600 Sooner Speed Week about to get underway. I'm Scotty Cook alongside with my good friend Neil Martin. Glad to be here, and we'll get things kicked off with your stock non-wing division. We're going to go with 9 cars, 8 laps, 4 heat races coming at you. Passing points are of a virtue. Your lineup will be as follows. The 13th F of Caden Mitchell out of Rockwall, Texas, will start from the pole, and outside of him in P2 will be Pueblo, Colorado's Chase Picola. The 42X of Luke Anderson out of Choctaw will be to the inside of the second row. Isaiah Garcia out of Arlington, Texas, in the 17G, starting in the 4th spot. To the inside of the third row will be the 2M of Colton McGimpsey. Colton out of Amarillo, Texas. Trevor Smith out of Yukon, Oklahoma, will start alongside of him in the 6th spot. On the 4th row to the inside will be the 06 of Merrick Pipe. Merrick out of Greeley, Colorado. Tulsa, Oklahoma's Maxwell Norick in the 90 will be outside of him. And all alone in that 5th row will be the 47 AK of Nesbitt, Mississippi's Chase Howard, joining us tonight here for Sooner Speed Week. Chase might be the only Mississippi competitor. Chase, a welcome addition to the stock non-wing division tonight, as Chase has been doing time up and down the highways and byways doing non-wing sprint car competition. So Chase every once in a while likes to get back to where his roots come from in these micros.
Yeah, but we all know how them big non-wings are. They're slow and clumsy compared
Right.
to these micros.
No doubt about it. No doubt about it. Chase has gotten a lot of non-wing sprint car seat time here in the last couple of years. And as we said, he'll be starting on that final row. Chase from Racing Royalty down there in the state of Mississippi is Father Ronnie and Uncle Dale, legends down there in the USCS sprint car ranks. So with that, once again, you got Caden Mitchell, Chase Picola on the front row, Luke Anderson, Isaiah Garcia, row number 2, Colton McGimpsey, Trevor Smith in row 3, Merrick Pipe, Maxwell Nork in row 4, and once again, Chase Howard. Your lineup brought to you by the fine folks of Morton Excavating.
We couldn't do it without sponsors, Scotty, and we don't want to try. They're a lot of fun, and they even come down and throw extra money at some of these classes every once in a while. Can't thank the sponsors enough for partnering with us to do this stuff.
You know, in the grand scheme of things, Neil, it is so very true that none of anything that we could do, whether it be up here in the booth or out there on the track, if you're actually ripping tear-offs, you could not do any of it without great supporters and sponsors.
No, you can't. We live and die by the sponsorship, and we can't thank everybody enough for what they do to help us put on these shows.
And speaking of, each and every competitor will be vying for a trip to the Topside Roofing Victory Lane tonight.
Yes, sir, they will be.
I got to tell you, while these cars are rolling out on the track, when you and I were able to tag team last year's Now 600 competition, I have to say, It's probably the most fun I'd had. I don't announce in the press box much anymore other than trackside work, but when I was able to work with you last year, it was one of the more fun nights of my season, so I'm really, really excited to be back here with you, buddy.
Well, it didn't hurt that we had some of the most amazing racing going on. There was a battle everywhere you looked, from top to bottom, all the way through the field.
If I'm not mistaken, we had somebody rally, and we had a photo finish. I don't remember who the two competitors were, but it was some good action, hopefully.
0-0-2-5.
You remember.
Yes, that was the closest finish I've ever witnessed up here in the booth.
Do you remember who they were?
No, I do not.
You remember the margin of victory?
I remember that margin, though, because we were discussing what we thought we saw, and we thought the wrong car was in the lead.
No doubt. Well, here we go. We'll fast forward to 2025. We'll go with Caden Mitchell, Chase Picola on the front row. Isaiah Garcia starting outside of row number 2. He is quick time qualifier of this group with a 4-car invert. So here we go. This time by out of turn number 4. Green flag flies. We are underway. Caden Mitchell getting a really good-looking start. Here comes Chase Picola. Wow, Chase getting into the wall off of turn 2. How about that?
Gave it a little kiss and still going, checking out that right rear tire. It still got air, so we're good to go.
So it's Mitchell, Merrick Pipe, and Chase Picola, your top 3, your field single file, working out of turn number 4 to complete lap 2.
Caden Mitchell not missing a beat, hitting every mark and still setting quick times each lap. Problems back there in the back for Maxwell Norick. Slowed down and coming out of turn number 2.
We got a battle going on right now for that 4th spot. Look out, Neil. Looks like the 42 of Luke Anderson. Yeah, going around over there in turn number 2. He was making a bid for that 4th spot, and he got into the left rear of the 2M of Colton McGimsey, and around he went. Caution on the Speedway.
Looking at a hole that wasn't big enough for 2.
He had a really good run there on the bottom, but carried a little bit too much momentum off and got into Colton McGimsey's left rear, and Luke Anderson come up on the short end of the stick there. He'll have to go to the back end of the field.
I think Luke actually likes to do that, though, about halfway through a race. But he'll usually get up closer to the top by the time it's over with. Very exciting driver out of Choctaw, Oklahoma, in the 42X of Luke Anderson.
All right, caution light goes out. We'll cut him loose once again. Caden Mitchell's going to lead your field out of turn number 4. This time by heat race number 1. We're back underway.
Spike didn't get any problems there. He got cleared real quick by all the cars on the track. Got a side-by-side race going into turn number 3. Coming out of 4. We got one in the wall. We got another one upside down. It's Luke Anderson of 42X. Wild ride there.
Oh, my goodness. That was a wild ride out of turn number 4. Nowhere to go for Luke Anderson. Luke Anderson getting a worse end of the deal. So Trevor Smith getting on the exit of turn number 4, a little bit tall. The right rear tagged the wall. So waiting on the word of the condition. We see Trevor Smith moving around there, communicating. So he's talking to... All right, we're getting a thumbs up. Both drivers are A-OK, ladies and gentlemen. Give them a big round of applause. Holy cow. We didn't want to start the night out like that, but, man, that's one of the wildest rides.
Luke Anderson not having a good year at all with this front straightaway.
Yeah, you're down there, Neil, on the scene. What do you see? Most importantly, we know that the driver is moving around, communicating, and okay.
The rear end's going to have a little bit of issue. The chain is off, of course, but that left rear is flat. The Nerf bar on the right side is completely caved into the tire. That's going to take a lot of work. Front axle does look like it's bent from where I'm at.
And as we speak, folks, Trevor Smith getting out of his car. He took a wild ride. Give him a big round of applause as well. Tough break early on for both competitors. We will certainly need the hook to both race cars. Obviously, Luke Anderson taking the worst end of that deal. You see Trevor Smith on his feet. He's going to take a stroll down there and check on his counterpart. And they will check on each other. And now that Luke has got his helmet off, he can hear you as well, folks. Getting out gingerly. Give him a big round of applause as well. Thank you very much, race fans. Not the way we wanted to start the night off, but ooh-wee, fireworks in heat race number 1 to get things kicked off tonight. That, Neil, is as big as you ever hope not to see here.
Yeah, Scotty, that was a wild one. I was even checking with the flag guy. He got real close to getting up there in the flag stand with him. Saw him ducking as we were watching Luke jump around on the front straightaway there.
Well, normally on the radio, Marcus radios to us and says, white flag coming. I'm sure he was saying, red flag coming. Let me bail up out of here.
I think he had a pucker muscle problem right then.
Marcus rode down here with me this afternoon, our flagman, and I will say, man, I don't know how those old flies got in my car before we got down here. I told Marcus, I said, your duty is to kill all the flies you can before we get to I-44. I said, I bet you can't kill 2 flies before we get there. And he hit his quota. He only got 2 of them, but there's still about 4 or 5 of them remaining.
He probably brought them with him. They were probably dummy flies that he caught, so you can make the bet.
He told me while I went into Taco Bueno to get my food, he said he got one, but I still don't know. I think the jury's out on that,
Not
Marcus.
verified, not a count.
I'm on to you, Marcus. You just keep counting them laps. You're not a fly swatter. We know that.
He ought to be pretty good at the way he weighs them flags.
Yes, sir.
We don't get to pick on him much, so when we get a chance, we got to do it.
I think I see you turning red down there, Marcus. So Caden Mitchell was your leader. Chase Piccola was running second. Merrick Pipe, your top 3 before all heck broke loose. Man, that was such a scary ride, Neil, especially Luke Anderson. Once he made contact with Trevor Smith, he was just pucker zone along for the ride, and that was big.
You saw Trevor. He was sliding up into turn 4, and you saw him. He was going to get real close to the wall. As a question, how hard was he going to hit it? Was he just going to bounce off of it or what? But when the rear end left the ground and Luke was right there, there was no doubt it was fixing to get ugly.
There's no doubt he was carrying a whale of momentum off of turn number 4, and too late to roll out and grab some brake. That right rear got into the wall before he knew it, and unfortunately, nowhere to go for Luke Anderson, and he zigged when he should have zagged, and the end result was one of the biggest rides I'm sure you've seen here this far this season at I-44.
Luke has had a couple this season up into the front stretch wall. There was one a few weeks ago that he got right down here at the entrance gate, or the exit gate down here. It was huge, and it looked really weird because the car got up and just stopped from full speed to nothing. Just that quick, and it was scary.
That concrete don't give much.
No, it does not. But that's like the 3rd or 4th one this season he's had on this front stretch this year. And he's not really enjoying that front stretch.
So we'd like to send a shout out across the internets to all the fine folks watching Start to Finish production. Special thanks to our buddy Hoss, Jimmy Miller, in command control, taking care of the production. And a very special thanks, Mr. Terry Maddox, for inviting me down first couple nights of Speed Week. Glad to get a little bit of extra work in with all this rain. Boy, it's hard for a media man in motorsports to survive this year.
It is. We've had more rainouts this year than we have the last 2 or 3.
I think I had 80 shows scheduled on my itinerary at season's beginning, and we've already nixed out about 20 of them.
Yep. And Mother Nature doesn't look like she's done with us yet.
I'll tell you what. Here we go. Caution light goes out. We'll cut them loose this time by green flag. Caden Mitchell will lead your field out of turn 4.
Chase Piccola right on the back tail tank of that 13F. Right there behind him, Merrick Pipe in that 06. Top 3 trying to break away and running a little bit higher this lap on the track than they have in the previous few.
Yeah, like you said, Neil, we've got a 3-car breakaway, and really the only contest on the Speedway right now is Merrick Pipe sizing up Chase Piccola and for that second spot, but Chase is holding a pretty good line. White flag in the air. He'll have 1 lap to size him up here.
Chase is driving it really deep into the entrance of the turn, diamonding off the corner and coming out, but we got a race out of turn number 4.
Give the advantage to Chase Spicola. He will chase Caden Mitchell to the line. Caden Mitchell takes the win. Spicola second. Merrick Pipe third. Colton McGimpsey and Maxwell Norrix round out your top 3. Then Luke Anderson, Trevor Smith, DNF. So that takes care of action. Heat race number 1 for your stock non-wing, and an action-packed heat race number 1 it was. Boy. I got a hankering for some of that fried rice now. We got to talking about it. You told me you know somebody we might be able to pull a string and get a bowl of fried rice up here for
I
the night.
bet we can probably make it happen. We just got to get to the right lady to send that text message down. We need some fried rice in the booth.
Soy sauce, please.
He's on the phone now.
Soy sauce. Thank you so much. I couldn't wait to get down here and try that fried rice.
It's all in the context, Scotty, all in the context.
So here we go. We've got Dylan Berglund, Zayden Vasquez, Jet Nunley, Braxton Weegar for the second heat race. We're going to go yellow an extra lap, give us a little extra time to get this thing put together here.
Anthony Ray is going to line up next to Chance Olstrom. Blaine Button in the 75 with Lawrence Mann Jr. in the 11M. And shotgun on the field, the 55X of Connor Chamberlain.
So the ones to watch in this are going to be the second row. Jet Nunley and Braxton Weegar, talented young men. One out of Marlow, Oklahoma. The other one out of Calera, Oklahoma. And Jet Nunley had a good night last night. He went up flame. You were watching on TV. He went up on flames in the back straightaway. And Braxton Weegar had a good car early and found trouble before night's end as well. Keep your eye on that second row. Those two are go-getters.
You've got Dylan Berglund and Zayden Vasquez, regulars here at I-44, along with the 75 of Blaine Button out there. So they got some regulars with some travel guys. It should be interesting.
And it looks like Jet Nunley will lead lap 1 from the outside, inside of the second row, from third to first in lap 1. So it's going to be Nunley, Dylan Berglund, Braxton Weegar, your top 3. Now a battle for the second spot back straightaway, Neil.
Yep. Braxton Weegar threw it underneath Dylan Berglund, but he crossed him over coming out of 4 and gets that spot back and moves into the second spot.
And that allows Zayden Vasquez to come knocking at the door as well.
Yep, Weegar's going to throw it into the inside. They're going to squeeze together as they come out of turn number 4. Using that top side momentum, Dylan Berglund's going to hold on to that second spot.
So your leader well out front, about a half a straightaway for Jet Nunley, as Dylan Berglund running second, Braxton Weegar third. Those two wheel to wheel for that second spot still.
Oh, he tried to throw a short slider in there, and Berglund drove around the top side to hold him off. He's not going to stop him this time going into 3.
We've got a new runner in that second spot. That's Calera, Oklahoma's Braxton Weegar.
Oh, Weegar goes up and kisses the wall. We got them 3 wide bumping into each other.
Holy cow. White flag. How's this going to wash out? They're still scratching and clawing, Braxton and Weegar.
Caution is out for a car in turn number 2.
Goodness gracious. Did you see how all that unfolded?
That got thick real fast.
So Jet Nunley all alone out on the easy street, and Braxton Weegar, Dylan Berglund, and Zayden Vasquez absolutely getting after it for that second spot.
Well, you can see Vasquez's eyes get real wide when those two started slowing down until he got underneath them, and then he realized that door's not open.
I tell you what, one thing about that kid out of Calera, Oklahoma, that Braxton Weegar, he is not afraid to mash the gas. And so what if I tag the wall? I'm still going to keep my foot in it. Braxton, one of quite a few young, talented competitors out of the micro division who this season have finally gotten their first taste of full-blown sprint car ride. And he got upside down in a full-blown sprint car last week for the first time.
Well, you know what they say. You got to wreck one to enjoy it.
If you ain't flipping her on fire, you ain't got your foot in it.
That's right.
At the mercy of old Lacey Weegar while he's thrashing together new parts on his boys' race car.
Yeah, and you know Mama's over there climbing the fence every time one of them gets close, too.
And not to slight his brother Caden, who's a pretty bona fide established talent as well, but he's doing double duty, pulling tractors with his dad, Lacey. So, hello to them back home, listening live, watching live on Start to Finish. Meanwhile, green flag flies. Jet Nunley will lead your field into turn number 1.
Uyghur's going to look to the inside of Berglund. Berglund's going to hold on to that power as long as he can. Drives in deep. Going to clear him coming out of 4.
So Dylan Berglund did a good job to get back by Uyghur. Now Uyghur losing a little ground off the bottom of 2, and that allows Zayden Vasquez a big slide job.
He's going to hold it.
Jet Nunley takes the win. Dylan Berglund took over that second spot. He'll finish right there. And Zayden Vasquez and Braxton Uyghur took the gloves off on that last lap to settle that third spot. Give it to Zayden Vasquez. Uyghur 4th. Anthony Rea rounds out your top 5. Lawrence Mann Jr., Connor Chamberlain, Blaine Button, Chance Olstrom rounds out your field. That takes care of action for heat race number 2 for your stock non-wing. Boy, we've got fireworks flying early on, buddy.
We do. Have you checked out turn number 1 yet,
I
Scotty?
was just looking at it, and
you see what's going on.
It's
the
not.
frames are starting to hit.
I absolutely see what's going on, and we're going to definitely keep our eye peeled on it as the evening progresses, because as both you and I forecast, I think some competitors are going to be having their hands full with that big old cowboy uphold down there to set their cars in turn number 1.
Was watching there a few cars on the final laps of that race. Frames were starting to bottom out. You could see them starting to dig that hole just a little bit deeper, because a couple of them got pretty wild as they bucked through the corner.
No doubt. So Milestone Home Services heat race number 3 on the feed Speedway for the stock non-wing. The 55 of Dalton Burley will start from the pole. Talon McConnell will be outside of him. The Coop Man out of Graham, Texas, Cooper Miller, starting inside of row number 2. Hayden Hansen, your defending Restrictor champion, the Tulsa Shootout, outside of him. Then you're going to have Lawrence Mann, Nathan Mall in row 3. Zach Zeller, Leroy Boone in row 4. And Caleb Tenscheit. Did I say that right?
I believe you did.
Oh, boy, just hold your breath and do the best you can. We're going to go 8 laps, 9 cars. And we're going to cut them loose this time by out of turn number 4. Your lineup brought to you by Arc Wrecking of Oklahoma.
Green flag is out. Talon McConnell going to use that top side momentum to take them down the back straightaway with the lead.
Look at Cooper Miller with a big move, turn 3. 3 wide off of 4.
Woo, that got close up against that wall as Dalton Burley and Cooper Miller doubled up on top of that turn as they come down the straightaway. Cooper Miller's going to drive it in super deep, trying to hold on to it.
Talon McConnell, look out, look out. Trouble off of turn number 4. That was, I believe, the 29 of Lawrence Mann Jr. maybe. Meanwhile, we stay green flag racing.
Yes, it was.
It was Lawrence Mann Jr. Meanwhile, Talon
McConnell's just up and gone.
Yeah, Cooper Miller about 10 car lengths back, running second, and he's got a nice little cushion over your third place running Dalton Burley.
Somebody back there got up next to that back wall as they're trying to enter turn number 3. That is the 2Z of Zach Zeller. Zeller's going to throw it in deep, trying to get underneath the 29.
2 times around remaining for your leader. And right now, Cooper Miller, with the white flag in the air, has run out of time. Smooth sailing down the back straightaway.
Caution is out.
Oh, on the white flag lap.
Looking for what it was.
We've got debris over in turn number 3, just to the top side of the groove. It looks like a wheel cover, Neil. Somebody lost a wheel cover. It looks like it might be your 4th place running car.
You don't think that's anything like NASCAR used to do, where they throw the water bottle
Throw the water bottle out to
get
bring out. No, I see a wheel cover missing from young Miss Hayden Hansen running 4th, and she wouldn't do such a thing.
No, none of these guys would.
Hayden Hansen is so very talented and such a sweet young lady, and I rest assured you that she is not afraid to get up in there and mix it up with the boys. We've told you all week long during Sooner Speed Week thus far, she is the defending restrictor champion of the Tulsa Shootout, and she is coming with guns loaded to defend her crown this winter.
Well, them girls, you got to watch them. They think a lot better than boys do, and they get out there and hustle it up. The Cooper Miller fan club down here in the front straightaway cheering Cooper on as he come around on that parade lap.
So Talon McConnell picks up from lap 7. And the white flag will wave this time by. Look out, trouble!
Our leaders collected.
In turn number 4. White flag waves. We stay green flag racing. Dalton Burley, the benefactor of that. And he's going to make his way out of turn number 4 and pick up heat race number 3 for your stock non-wing. Cooper Miller finishing second. Lawrence Mann rounds out your top 3. Hayden Hansen and Nathan Mall rounds out your top 5. Neil, what did I just see?
You just saw a couple of drivers burning the tires off trying to get out of that corner. Cooper threw it in there in turn 3 and a haymaker. Cleared the 17 of McConnell. Then he lost the back end. McConnell couldn't get on the brakes quick enough and got collected up. And then Dalton Burley out of the blue had the whole top side.
There's no way I could have described it like that. At one moment in time, there were 4 wide craziness. So, boy, we started this thing off with fireworks, and it just keeps getting crazier and crazier.
Well, we probably need to apologize for Grandma for both of us sucking her wig off when we both saw that coming.
All right, heat race number 4 for your stock non-wing out onto the Speedway. And your heat race brought to you by Milestone Home Services. Jaden Friesen, Mason Spahn, Mason Doherty, KJ Snow, Hank Soares, Enzo Spicola, Tatum McElveny, Chris Miller, and Tristan Ulstrom. Your lineup brought to you by Martin's Machine Shop, and we are underway.
Boy, they're not missing a beat at all. Mason Spahn took off. Got a nice gap between him and that second place, but there's 3 of them battling for second place.
Yeah,
91K at Daugherty, the 89.
Keep your eye on. KJ Snow is on the move, vying for that second spot. He and Jaden Friesen getting after it. Here comes Mason Doherty into the mix as well.
Daugherty saw his opening on the top when they squeezed down to the bottom, and he tried to take advantage of it. Couldn't quite get it done. Reliched back into that 4th spot. Snow goes around the top side of Friesen. Friesen gets opened up there. Daugherty takes advantage of it, moves up into that 3rd spot.
We've got a wild scramble going on for that 3rd spot right now, Neil, and Mason Doherty, Jaden Friesen taking the gloves off 3 and 4.
He threw a haymaker in there on the 91K and cleared him, but Friesen's going to clear him at the start-finish line. Daugherty has another one in there on him in turn number 1.
These boys, now he gives him a nice little shove in the bumper. 2 times around remaining, and they are still trading wheels.
They are getting after that 2nd, 3rd spot.
Meanwhile, KJ Snow's gotten away. He's settled in comfortably to 2nd. White flag in the air one more time around for Mason Spahn.
We got 2 cars together back here on the back straightaway. Now the 11's going to go around. He's going to get it straight back out, but it's not going to fire. Caution comes out.
That was Tatum McElveny and Chris Miller getting together in turn number 3 with caution flag waving after they have contact there in turn number 3. And how about that battle we saw for the 3rd spot between Mason Doherty and Jaden Friesen? Woo!
No love lost there, and they probably will not exchange Christmas cards after that one.
A lot of bumper and chrome and Nerf bars and wheels being exchanged there.
But in the back, I was watching the 3 cars in the back with Tristan Ulstrom and the 11 of McElvany and all them back there. They were up against it all the way around, all over each other back there. Now we got a little pushing and shoving going on as they go into turn number 1, trying to let him know I didn't like that.
Yeah, and they just got a warning over race control. We're not going to put up with that tonight, so we'll see. Here we go. Caution light goes out. Mason Spahn's going to lead them out of turn number 4 and get us back underway. See if we can wrap up heat race number 4 for your stock non-wing. Watch KJ Snow back straightaway.
He's going to drive it in deep. He's going to stay on the top. Spahn's going to drive that defensive line. He's going to try to look underneath. not getting it done. Mason Spahn taking the white flag that time around, but Snow got him in turn number 1.
Snow with a big move takes over the top spot. Who's it going to be out at turn number 4? Kingsburg, California's. Oh, look out. Kingsburg, California's KJ Snow takes the win. Mason Spahn second. Mason Doherty third. Jaden Friesen, Hank Soares rounds out your top 5. Enzo Spicola, Chris Miller, Tatum McElvaney, and Tristan Ulstrom, a close call, finishing last, getting together with, I do believe, the car with the flat right rear, Enzo Spicola. Oh. Man, I cannot believe all the insanity we've seen thus far, and we're just getting started, buddy.
Yeah, we haven't even really had anything happen yet.
So we are moving right along through the program. I do believe this is Heat 1 for our restrictor class. Milestone Home Services, your sponsor for all of our heat races. So Heat 1 making a way out of turn number 4. It's Jensen Long, Gunnar Galloway in row number 1. And they like to start, so we are underway. So it was Caden Lane, Bryce Shade, Gunnar Galloway, Colette Dicero, Maxwell North, Jace Raper, and Kyson Bolden. Your field. And Jensen Long getting a heat right now for that top spot as Caden Lane in the 99, along with Bryce Shade, putting the heat on for the top spot. We got a 3-car breakaway. Working lap number 3 this time by Restrictor Heat Race number 1. So as Long, Lane, and Shade have gotten away, Colette Dicero, Gunnar Galloway, and Jace Raper running 3rd, 4th, and 5th. The entire field, single file, no contest on the Speedway thus far. So you get a good look at your leader, Jensen Long, back home on Start to Finish TV. And no harm, no foul for the entire field, no contest. Looks like, barring anything silly, we're going to finish as we do with a white flag in the air, and your leader making his way out of turn number 4, Jensen Long, picking up heat race number 1 for your restrictor class. Caden Lane finishing 2nd. Bryce Shade rounds out your top 3, and then Colette Dicero and Gunnar Galloway 4th and 5th. Jace Raper, Maxwell Norick, and Kyson Bolden takes care of action for Restrictor Heat Race number 1. So Restrictor Heat Race number 2 on the Speedway. Deacon McRoberts in the 26K will make his way out onto the Speedway along with Ayla Moorfield in the 19A. McRoberts out of Dodge City, Kansas. Ayla Moorfield out of Chattanooga, Oklahoma. Brexton Bush out of Mooresville, North Carolina, to the inside of row number 2. El Campos, Texas, the Jude Allgaier outside of him. Sand Springs, Oklahoma's Riker Jones. Bennett, Nebraska's Taylin Roberts making up row number 3. Lathan Knott, Charmaine Carey. 8 cars, 8 laps of distance. Green is go.
And the wild child, Ayla Moorfield in that 19A, trying to run off the top side to get that spot, but she's going to be squeezed out by Deacon McRoberts in that 26. And here comes the 14 of Allgaier.
So lap 1 in the books as they make their way across the start-finish line. And your leader, Deacon McRoberts about a 5-car length lead over the Jude Allgaier. Keep your eye on Brexton Bush right now, running 5th. Can he make up any ground? We will see.
He's running the short way around using that bottom line. A lot of them right there in the middle as they come around out of turn 2. And now we got a bump developing in turn number 3 to watch.
Yeah, Riker Jones just went right through that hole and went airborne. And he is maintaining that 4th spot. Meanwhile, we are halfway home. Heat number 2 for your restrictor division. Deacon McRoberts taking care of business thus far. No harm, no foul anywhere. No contest on the track.
Nowhere at all. Everybody's playing follow the leader right now. The gap between first and second was 7.72, now up to 7.4 for Deacon McRoberts in that 26K. McRoberts don't waste a lot of time figuring out a track and what it's doing. He's always on the gas and always thinking, but Ayla Moorfield catching up to the back bumper of that 14 of Jude Allgaier.
Well, I've noticed that Deacon is going low to that hole down there upon entry, turn 1. And he's also missing the one developing in turn number 4 as well. So you can keep all 4s on the ground. You're doing something right. And this time by, he'll pick up the checkered flag out of turn number 4 and under the flag stands. Deacon McRoberts taking the win. The dude Jude Allgaier second. Ayla Moorfield rounds out your top 3.
Then you've got the 22J of Riker Jones, the 18B of Brexton Bush, the 18T of Taylin Roberts, Charmaine Carey in the 10cc, and rounding out the field in the 92, it's Lathan Knott.
So Heat 2 in the books for your restricted division. Working through Milestone Home Services heat racing action. Heat race number 3 coming at you.
Something to look at, Scotty. Our lap times are down, are 12.5 for your leaders right now in this restricted class. That's pretty impressive for these restrictors. Heat 3. Heat number 3 is going to look like this. McKeenan Roush in the 17B to the inside, and row number 1, the 226 of Chase DeMarco on his outside. Braxton Flatt in the 81 on the inside. Clayton Jenkins to the outside of number 2. 11H of Nicholas Harris on the inside of row 3 with Riker Calloway to his outside. Kimber Combs in 25A on the inside of the final row, and the 1T of Tommy Holt.
You talk about a young man with a future. Keep your eye on the inside of the second row. Monmouth, Illinois, Braxton Flatt. That young man is chock full of talent. The 2023 Tulsa Shootout Junior Sprint Champion. And he has done nothing but get better and better and better every time he gets into a race car the last 3 or 4 years. So here we go.
He's coming around. One of our local guys is right next to him in that 29 of Clayton Jenkins. Another wheel right here at I-44 Motorsports Park.
Clayton got a really good start from the outside of the second row, and he'll follow into that 3rd spot. Troubles for the 25 car of Kimber Crooms. Losing a little power, but we go green. How about that?
29 of Jenkins getting up into that 2nd spot as they come out of turn number 4. Now going to try to run down that 26 of Chase DeMarco.
Chase DeMarco got a really good start from the outside of the front row. He leads your field. And Clayton Jenkins outside of row number 2 got a really good start. Oh, man.
We've got one got into the 40 of Calloway. Calloway did a little spin around, a little Tommy tip over, until Holt got into the bottom end of him over there.
Tommy Holt getting into the bottom of the, was it the 40? So a tough break for Ryder Calloway. An innocent-looking spin and a tip over on the side, but the race car was belly up facing to the oncoming 1T of Tommy Holt. Tommy Holt has exited the Speedway to the infield, and we will await, we are hoping and assuming, good news of the driver's condition over in turn 2.
Scotty, I just got message that they are going to go ahead and take Luke Anderson, the driver of the 42X, on over to the hospital. IMSA is on the way to transport him just to be on the safe side and check him out. So he will be a scratch for the rest of the night in that 42.
Well, that's a tough break, and we know that we saw, and everyone else, that happened right in our laps. We saw a huge ride for him down the front straightaway.
Yeah, that one was pretty wild for him. But
so both drivers, okay, folks, give them a big round of applause. A frightening moment for that one. Ryder Calloway and Tommy Holt involved. Ryder Calloway spinning, tipping over on the side, the bottom of the race car exposed to the oncoming 1T of Tommy Holt, the front bumper getting into the belly pan of the 40 of Ryder Calloway. Ryder taking a ride to the deep pit on the hook, and Tommy Holt motionless in the pit area. So we started with 8, we're left with 6, and we will have 6 laps remaining.
6 is wild right here.
Good looking crowd here tonight, Neil.
It is. The grandstands are full for a Thursday night.
Wednesday.
There's still time to go.
No, today's Thursday.
Now, I lose days, so I don't need any help.
I don't even know. I don't know where I was yesterday, where have I got to be tomorrow. I know you're going to be here again tomorrow night.
I will be right here at I-44 Speedway Park. Love this setup. Love the way it goes. The crowds are great. The drivers are always great. And the racing is always amazing.
No doubt about it. So you got Jace Tamarco down out on the point. Clayton Jenkins, after a really good start from the 4th spot up into the 2nd spot. Mack and Roush, Braxton Flat, Ryder Calloway to just exit. So green flag will fly. Nicholas Harris will bump up into that 5th spot.
2 cars trying to break away for the lead. It's the 26 of Chase DeMarco and the 29 of Clayton Jenkins. And Jenkins is right on the tail tank as they come out of turn number 4.
Interesting line for your leader. He is really tight to the hub as he, not as tight off of turn 4, but really Chase DeMarco really coming off of the bottom tight in turn 2.
Definitely running the real low line. Now he's going to try to hold it through 4, but he's sliding up as he comes out of the corner.
Clayton Jenkins going to mount a charge here late, buddy.
Yep, he's going to take the top side, look up against the fence. He couldn't get through there. He's going to go to the inside. Drives it in deep. They're wheel to wheel. Contact. 2 laps to go. Can he line him up another one?
I noticed him burping the throttle. He lost a little ground upon entry. White flag away this time by for Chase DeMarco.
Clayton Jenkins looking like he's running that top line, sizing up the move coming out of turn number 4. Jenkins is going to stay on the top side. He's going to turn the nose down. Can he get there? Not going to happen. The 26 of DeMarco going to take the checkered flag.
Clayton Jenkins finishing 2nd, Mack and Roush 3rd. Braxton Flatt and Kimber Crooms out of the state of Florida. Great job. Rounds out your top 5. Then Nick Harris, Tommy Holt, Ryder Calloway. Those final 2 DNFs. And give him a big round of applause. Chase DeMarco doing a really good job. Cornelius, North Carolina's Chase DeMarco picking up heat race number 3 for your restrictors. Heat 4 making a way out onto the Speedway. So Milestone Home Services, the sponsor for your heat races. Grimes, Iowa's Levi Ballard starting from the pole. And how about this? The eldest child of NASCAR open wheel great Kyle Larson, Owen Larson. Folks, you're going to get your first glimpse of a future star in motorsports. Owen Larson scheduled to start outside of row number 1.
Looks like they're trying to get a car behind him to push him over there. He's still in staging over here.
So we were just talking about Owen. He is in staging, thrashing to make the call. So it looks like they are, Neil, they are working feverishly down there on Owen's car, and it looks like here they're going to try to push him forward, maybe get him out here. But I think the lights have gone out. don't know if he's going to make the call or not. Here he comes. Here comes Owen. So Grimes, Iowa's Levi Ballard starting from the pole, and I don't think that car is going to fire for Owen Larson.
Across the radio, they're going to take him out the other side. He's going to be pushed right back into the pit area.
Tough break for Owen Larson. Levi Ballard from the pole. It's going to put Hudson Andrews up alongside of Ballard in that front row. Brett Van Zandt, Caden Anderson will make up row number 2, and then Riley Oberst and Colton Andrasek. We'll go with 6 cars, 8 laps of distance. Heat race number 4 for your restrictor class. Your lineup brought to you by Arc Wrecking of Oklahoma.
Green flag is in the air. Everybody's after it. The 7 of Andrews gets a great jump off the top. Slides down in front of the 87.
Look at Brett Van Zandt from the outside of row 2 up into the 3rd spot, Neil.
I don't think he's done, Scotty. Look at him use that top side. He's going to run right up next to that fence and stay on the top side.
Yeah, he's working over Levi Ballard for that 2nd spot. Can Levi hold him off? Levi now mounting a charge for the lead. Hudson Andrews got his hands full.
Everybody trying to catfish down in that corner in turn number 1. Brett Van Zandt looked underneath, decided and got on the brakes not to try it right then. I think he's going to stay to the top side and try to use that power and momentum to drive around them both.
So it's Andrews, Ballard, Van Zandt, your top 3. A 3-car breakaway, and Caden Anderson is trying to stay in the mix, running 4th. And you were right, they are really cheating that turn on entry in 1.
You can see the tractor tires licking their lips. They know they're fixing to get one. Brett Van Zandt turned the nose down, couldn't hold it once he hit that dry spot.
Ballard's got a good run on your leader here. A battle for the lead, turn 1. Hudson Andrews trying to hold off Levi Ballard. Here comes Van Zandt with a burn off 2.
He's going to hold it to the inside. Can he not slide up and get into him? White flag is going to come out. Final time around for this heat race.
3 cars under a blanket for the lead, back straight away. Heat race number 4 for your restricted division. Bring us home, Neil, out of turn 4.
The 7 of Hudson Andrews is going to take the checkered flag, followed by Brett Van Zandt in that 14V. The 87 of Levi Ballard, the 55K of Caden Anderson, the 22 of Riley Oberst, and the 29A of Colton Anderson.
So heat race number 4 was a doozy for the restrictor class. And that'll bring on heat race number 5, your 5th and final for the restrictor class. And with that, we'll let you know the lineup will be as follows. The GH7 of Garen Howard out of Newcastle will start on the pole. Aurora, Nebraska's Titan Roberts will be outside of him. Chase Bunton and Dawson Woods, last night's winner. Starting in row 2, Grayson Henry, Blake Crooms out of the state of Florida. Starting 5th and 6th. And you got Brooks Bowie all alone. We'll go with 7 cars, 8 laps of distance. Your 5th and final heat race. Your lineup brought to you by Morton Excavating.
This one's pretty stacked because that 66 of Bowie who did one of the KKM give-back races and did exceptionally well up in Indiana.
No doubt.
So there's a lot of good cars in this race.
Bowie will be starting in the back. You want to keep your eye on.
The 83 of Woods using that top side line. He's already up into that 2nd spot, but got pushed into the wall.
Wow.
Roberts is catfishing along the bottom, and Dawson Woods is going to stay up on the top.
So Titan Roberts and Dawson Woods, a mad scramble early on for that top spot.
Didn't look like Garen Howard got the start he wanted. No. That kind of bottled everybody up, and Woods just jumped on.
Meanwhile, Brant Woods continuing his march to the front. He is working over Titan Roberts for the lead.
Dawson Woods is not afraid. Oh, we got a tractor tire kiss, and that's going to open the door for Woods. Woods, your leader at the stripe.
I bet Brant Woods is giggling all over himself. Your little brother's showing the way.
They get used to it with me doing it to them all the time.
So Dawson Woods taking over the top spot from Titan Roberts running 2nd. They've gotten away from Garen Howard running 3rd. And then about 5 or 6 car lengths back to your 4th place running Chase Bunton. Those 4 have gotten away from the field.
Dawson Woods a 1.2 second lead over that second spot of Roberts. Woods flirting with disaster. He's hit the bump on both ends so far in both laps as he's come around, but he's still stretching his lead out.
Yeah, it looks like everybody's settled in, and this one's going to be settled. 1 lap to go. Dawson Woods, that boy got a fuse lit under him this week. Follows up a feature win last night with a heat race win tonight. Dawson Woods out of Chickasha, Oklahoma, picking up your 5th and final heat race for your restricted class. Titan Roberts finishing 2nd. Garen Howard 3rd. Blake Crooms and Chase Bunton. Those cars rounding out your top 5. Then Brooks Brewery, Grayson Henry. How come Titan Roberts? I know he.
Transponder wasn't.
Okay. Right on. I think we're going to score him 2nd, though, for sure.
You know, it's kind of, you get a lot of these younger drivers. Dad was an awesome driver himself, and now he's doing the wrenches on it. Dad, Jim Woods, was a track champion here at I-44, several years ago, but he still comes out here and plays with the boys every once in a while and still outruns most of them.
And the same is true for Titan Roberts. His father, a long-time weekly competitor for about 20 years at the Knoxville Raceway. His father, Ryan, and his uncle, the legendary track champion of the Knoxville Raceway, Rock and Roll Billy Alley. So it's all about passing the heritage down along to these youngsters, and so many of them do such a great job of carrying forward their legacies.
Oh, yes, they do, and they teach these kids from diapers all the way up to race suits, and then they get them in cars early and get them going.
And then they get them in cars early, and they get brave, and they got to keep them in diapers.
Yes. That's your dad.
For when they're knocking the walls down.
You know, the best part about watching these kids race is getting to sit up here and watch the parents.
Boy, howdy. Those
moms are always up here videoing.
Parents get a little wound up.
They're cheering like mad. You can see Dad over there holding onto the fence. And when it gets a little hairy, they're climbing the fence and watching. Mom's running up and down the bleachers. That's part of the fun of being up here in the booth.
So the restricted class have taken care of their heat racing action, and we will move along into A-class competition. And the hiccup in the program is waiting for Titan Roberts, who competed in that last restricted heat race, and he will compete in heat race number 1 for the A-class in a different race car.
Yes, and of course that A-class car is going to be a lot more responsive than that Restrictor was. So he's got to forget everything he just done and strap into another rocket and try it differently than he did before.
Titan Roberts picking up the win last night in the A-class from that one-way performance number 11. Titan will be rolling outside of row number 3 in the 6th spot. So your lineup will be as follows. Calera, Oklahoma's Braxton Weegar in the 1S. He'll start from the pole. Luke Anderson's going to be a scratch as he is getting looked over at the hospital after that crazy ride after heat race number 1 to kick the evening off. So that'll bump up the young man out of League City, Texas, Cash Lacombe. He'll be alongside of Braxton Wiggers. Those two buddies will make up the front row. Marlow, Oklahoma's Jet Nunley and Mason Doherty will make up row number 2. And Titan Roberts, Cameron Shamness, row 3. Cole Roberts, Chance Olstrom. Your lineup brought to you by Martin's Machine Shop.